Hello everyone, it's Greg here, and this video is called Where Have the Peterson Farm Bros Been? And that's a good question, and we have some different answers for you. For one, we're a very busy family, and there are some other ag YouTubers out there that we're good friends with that make videos every week and do a really good job at it. We try to focus on our parody music videos that we put out every few months. We try to focus on our Facebook content and our Instagram content that we post on almost every day. But as far as YouTube videos go, we haven't done a very good job of uploading very many, especially in the past 6 months. You probably haven't seen many videos since Pasture Road. If you haven't seen Pasture Road, check it out. It's a parody of Old Town Road, and it's gotten quite a bit of traction, especially on Facebook. That's another thing that we have started doing. We post our parodies on Facebook now not instead of YouTube, but along with YouTube, because YouTube just doesn't give us the views that it used to. We currently have 6 million views on Pasture Road on Facebook, and on YouTube we only have about 600,000. So we've started to go more toward Facebook just because that was where we were having more success. We're hoping to start vlogging a little more and making more YouTube videos for you guys, which I'll get to that in a little bit. We do a lot of speaking presentations all over the country. We speak at conferences, we speak at county fairs, and along with the speaking we do some performing. It's kind of entertainment along with a formal presentation. So that's a lot of what we've been doing that keeps us from making YouTube videos. My technical job description here on the farm is I'm only a farmer about half the time. I come out to the farm during the busier times. Most of my time and energy is spent at home producing social media content, or it's spent on the road traveling and speaking and doing these entertainment programs. And that, along with the traveling, comes a lot of office work, booking trips, booking hotels, flights, cars, answering emails, setting up events. And so my job has not been as much of a video producer lately as it has been more of like a travel agent almost.
Farmer style, working farmer style. You're doing good. Farmer style, working farmer style.
Yeah, like I said, I did 60 or 70 this year. Last year I did almost 80. And Nathan or Kendall, they'll join me for maybe 30 or 40 of those. So they don't do quite as many events as I do. And Nathan and Kendall are full-time farmers. So they're going out to the farm every day. Kendall lives on the farm. Nathan lives in town with some other guys, but he's getting married this fall, so he might be living closer to the farm. That might make a few things easier for us. But Nathan and Kendall are full-time on the farm. I'm only part-time on the farm, and instead of using the extra time I have to make YouTube videos, I've spent most of it booking and arranging speaking events and doing all of the office work and social media work that goes into running the Peterson Farm Brothers accounts, etc., etc. In order for us to start creating more vlog content, it's going to take, I'm trying to restructure some things. For one, I'm going to try to get our videos, the editing outsourced, to have someone else do the video editing. The video editing takes way too much time. So these videos that you're watching today, this video and some of the next couple vlogs we're gonna do, I'm gonna edit because I haven't signed up for the editing yet, but that is something that I plan to do in the future so we can get more YouTube content to you guys. Another reason why we have struggled to balance farming with traveling, with social media, with video production, is because our farm has doubled in size, and we went from just my dad and I farming together full-time when I started making videos back in 2012, to now Nathan and Kendall came home from college, and they're full-time, I'm part-time. We've undergone a lot of transition. I got married a year and a half ago. Kendall got married a year and a half ago. Nathan's getting married this fall. A lot of transition in our family, a lot of things going on, and we're so busy sometimes. When I go out to farm, it's way more relaxing for me to just help on the farm and not worry about filming content. And also, when I get home at night after working long hours on the farm or after traveling, when I get home, sometimes I just want to spend some time with my wife, relaxing, not worrying about editing videos, not worried about doing all these things. And so the answer to the question of where have the Peterson Farm Brothers been is not that we're slacking and don't feel like making videos for you guys. We would love to make more videos for you guys. The answer is more, we're very busy people, we're a very busy family, and we just underwent the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years some of the most major transitions that we'll see in our family. Now, of course, in the next who knows how many years, we will possibly see kids like myself or my brothers. We might have kids, and that could, throw a whole new loop in the process. Kendall and his wife, Kaylin, have actually had a foster child this summer. We've had a lot of fun having him on the farm this summer. He's gotten to ride along in equipment and learn about living on a farm. And so we've already gotten a glimpse into what being parents is going to look like, and we're pretty excited about the future of our farm, of our family, and even just getting to have a place on the farm for a child in need has been really a blessing, not only to Kendall and Kaylin, I know, but to the rest of our family as well. So that's pretty cool. But we just hope that you guys will bear with us. We do focus on getting a parody music video out every 6 months or so. Those are a ton of work, but those are also a big part of why you guys follow us. So we have tried not to slack off on those videos, and we've got one in the works hopefully for this fall. In this spring in Kansas, we had a terribly wet spring. We had trouble getting our crops in. I'm sure many of you around the United States, if not around the world, had the same issues. We were fighting mud, fighting wet conditions, trying to plant our crops. So here's a couple videos that kind of give an update of what it looked like this spring as we were planting. We got to plant our corn and soybeans with a Great Plains planter that was brand new, hadn't even been released yet. So here's some footage of that. And then we just had a very busy spring fighting the weather.
This is bad, Dory. This is bad. That's about as pretty as it gets right there.
Morning, everyone. We are planting corn. We're using this brand new Great Plains planter. It is not released yet, so this video will actually probably not be posted for a few months. But it's a 16 row, and we're planting corn with it. Right now I'm putting in fertilizer and getting ready to go back out there first thing in the morning here. Another thing we did this spring was something we do every year, and something I filmed a little bit of content for but never got edited. We were swathing and baling, raking and baling alfalfa hay for our cattle. So here's a couple clips of us swathing alfalfa. Good afternoon, everyone. It's that time of year again. We are swathing our first cutting of alfalfa. We have about 80 acres of alfalfa, and this field is our only field. But it's usually takes about 6 hours to swath this. So it's an all-day project. This is what I've been doing all day. This is our bi-directional, with a swather head on the front and pulling a New Holland swather in the back. There we go. So that's kind of what we're up to today. I'll show you a little bit about how this works. The swather head attaches to the front of the bi-directional, which, you know, to most will feel like the back. It's technically the front. These foot pedals down here run the up and down of the swather, and we've got some pedals over here that run the swivel of the back swather. So every time you get to the end of the field, you're going to raise up your front swather and your back swather, and then you're going to run the swivel back here. And then this button up here turns on the swather head of the front. This one turns on the swather head of the back. So there's a PTO, a power takeoff on the front that runs that swather, and then a PTO coming off the back of the tractor that runs the back. So 2 PTOs on this tractor, hydraulics to run the up and down of both swather heads, and then here's your throttle to control the engine speed, and the hydrostat to control how fast you're going. So this is our New Holland TV 140. I got the swather in the back and the front. Got the this is what the rear PTO looks like, and then it's got a hydraulics on the back here. So pretty much like a normal tractor in the back. It's got doors on both sides that you can get into. Here's what it looks like on the front. Kind of see, it's just like having a PTO and hydraulics and 3-point hitch on the front and the back, which allows us to swath with 2 swathers at once. We use alfalfa as one of our high protein ingredients of our ration that we feed our cattle. And so we always have at least one 80-acre field of alfalfa every year. And sometimes if the alfalfa crop is bad, like last year, we'll have to buy some alfalfa hay bales. But this year, looks like we're gonna have plenty. This is one of the best alfalfa crops we've had in a while. And here's hoping it doesn't get rained on. We've got about 5 days of sun forecast, but then there's a chance of rain, so definitely gonna hope the sun dries us down and we can get it baled by the end of the week. All right, one of the busiest times of the year was this July. Normally we harvest wheat in June. The wet weather actually pushed wheat harvest and planting too back into July. And my brother Nathan had a missions trip planned in July where he was gonna leave for 2 weeks. And he thought that we would be done with wheat harvest, we would be done with planting, we would be done with double crop planting. But what ended up happening was he was gone for, you know, some of the busiest 2 weeks of the year, which meant that I, who, as I talked about earlier, you know, don't necessarily work full-time on the farm anymore. In the month of July, I was working, you know, 50, 60-hour weeks throughout the month on the farm. And so, yeah, very little time to produce social media. And along with that, I think I took 5 or 6 trips during the month of July. So it was a very busy time of year. But we did end up getting all the wheat harvested. We got all the crops planted. Our last field of corn was planted in early July. Our last field of soybeans was planted, I think, on July 15th. So we were planting soybeans until mid-July, and then we planted some cover crops and forages even later than that. But we got it all done, and then it kept raining throughout the summer, which is rare in Kansas. So our crops actually look really, really good here this fall, which you'll be seeing in the upcoming vlogs. But here's a recap of the wheat harvest and the double crop planting and everything we did in June and July. What's up, everyone? We're out here in the harvest field, wheat harvest 2019. Just getting started on our second field. We've actually got 3 combines going for the first time in wheat. We ran 3 combines at Milo last year, running a 9610, a 9600, and a 7720. Why this wheat is so thick is we spread manure on this field with it being so close to the feedlot, and it's had manure spread on it for, you know, 100 years since our great-grandfather started farming here with cattle. We've been farming the same quarter since the late 1800s. It was homesteaded by our Swedish ancestors, so 5 generations of Petersons have farmed this field, and we've spread lots of nutrients through animal waste on this field, and it's a great way to improve the soil and make your crops more productive and utilize cattle in more ways than one. So you can see the 2 other combines going there, and Kaylin, Kendall's wife, just brought some dinner to the field, so we're gonna head over to eat pretty soon. My wife Brookanna is actually in that combine right there. This is her 2nd year running a combine part-time. She just kind of fills in when we need somebody to help. And then that's my dad over there. And then Nathan is currently on his way back from the elevator with the truck. Kendall is going to feed cattle. That's why Brianna's in the combine. And then our mom is over there in the semis. She's been driving semis all day. And we don't really stay in the same pieces of equipment all the time, but for the most part, we rotate around. So you can see this field making a bunch of straw. We're going to bale this up and then double crop this field to soybeans, and then we'll actually irrigate the double crop soybeans from that pond over there. So we actually irrigate out of ponds, which is a pretty unique thing to do. But we don't have underground water, so we use the water we do have, which is in large ponds in our lagoon that drains the cattle. We pump both of those back onto our fields. See if we can get it. There's Brianna, doing a good job.
Enjoy a night of family swimming and bless your area pregnancy care ministry with the KJIL Great Diaper Roundup. You're with family KJIL.
So, you gonna say hello?
Its head is like the length of my
See if you can pet it.
torso.
She's like, I don't know, fam. All right, well, hopefully you've enjoyed kind of seeing an update of where we have been in in the last 4 or 5 months since Pasture Road. And here's hoping that in the future, in these next couple months, we will be getting a lot more videos to you guys. You'll be able to keep track of our farm a little bit better. I've been going to some YouTube classes, trying to figure out how much YouTube has changed from 5-6 years ago when we got started. There's a lot of new algorithms and a lot of new ways of doing things that have made farm vloggers like Minnesota Millennial Farmer, Welker Farms, those guys, How Farms Work, those guys really successful at what they do. And we just want to give a shout out to them for being excellent vloggers. We enjoy watching their content, and that's something that I feel pretty new to. I'm not that great of a vlogger, but it's something that I would really like to do more of instead of traveling so much. And what I'd like to do in the future is kind of back off the travel, maybe 50%, and increase the vlogging, staying at home, working at home some more, so that you guys will have some more content to watch. Thanks for watching the Peterson Farm Brothers YouTube channel. Here's to the future, and here's hoping that the commodity markets and everything that's been kind of and the weather, everything that's been kind of a tough thing about this year, here's hoping all that gets better in 2020. Keep on farming, everyone. Thanks for watching.